Hey, that's
Hello,
Matt.
Brian. Hi.
Hey, Matt, we're gonna react to some music.
Cool.
So this is you're a friend of mine. I'm pretty sure, and you have not heard this or seen this.
I'm
So
hoping.
okay, so we'll see how it goes. We'll
Okay.
see how it goes. It's called Hey Ren, and it is by the musician Ren.
Okay.
And here we go.
Hi there, Ren. It's been a little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down, you know that. Deep down, you know I'm always in periphery. Ren, on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately, and I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate. This time is different, man. Trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place. And my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great. And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Where are your Grammys, Ren? Nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with his subconscious, Eminem did it. Played on guitar, Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath it. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it. Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus. Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren.
Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren.
I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside.
Newsflash. I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason. Beheading all kings, I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mustopheles, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender when standing in front of my solar eclipse. My name is stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal. Feeble and normal, you wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of ends. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren.
Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So coward the man I've become, when I sing from the top of my lungs, that I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspired I make to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise, in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climate different side. When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax, and I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
kind of speechless.
Yeah.
Powerful,
Yeah.
really powerful. Um, so first and foremost, the sound, the nature of the sound his guitar is making. I'm hearing like intentionally, slightly, uh, perhaps not in tune guitar, and uh, then I thought, no, it is in tune. Maybe it's the quality of the strings. Like they seem like they're kind of cheaper strings. Um, making they're like I don't know. It just all felt like it was part and parcel of the expression that Ren was making. That really solid.
Very intentional. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And the pig guy coming in at first with the bloody apron or whatever. That seemed like a throwback to Brazil, the movie Brazil. You remember that
Yeah.
movie?
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the guy,
I love
the
that movie.
Monty Python director. Um,
Yep.
and his experience, fairly early on, I got that, okay, this is an exchange between the two psychoses, the guy who is just talking really way too fast, and the other guy. And the beauty of the direction to have the lights flicker every time the guy who talks really fast,
Mm-hmm.
that was good. And I maybe it was because there was the blood on the pig mask guy at the beginning. I was like, oh boy, I hope we're not going to see anything like really violent. I don't want to have to go into that. Um, and to have him make it like a poetic treatise at the end, like he's talking about his experience,
Yeah. Yeah.
um, was beautiful. It's a testament to his being alive.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I don't think you could make something like that without having lived something like that, for sure.
Um, and I'm a little bit older than him, so when I look at him, when he said when I was 17, well, what is he, like 19 now? But then he said that was 10 years ago, so he might be in his early 30s. And I remember when I was in my early 30s, was I that in touch to be able to express it in beauty like that? The it's and when I say beauty, like poetic expression, artistic expression doesn't have to be flowers and rainbows to be beautiful. That was a beautiful, well crafted expression, um, and it went into a scary place for most humans of mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
And
I, d-
yeah, go ahead.
yeah. I don't think I could have made. I don't think I was in touch with what's going on inside me, uh, like that at that age, for sure. Um, I mean, I feel like I'm still figuring that stuff out right now.
Which it gives me
But
hope, like
yeah.
you and I have a practice of talking about things that can be scary. Don't tell anybody about the other blog we do, but about AI. So, every once in a while, it's kind of like, how are people how are younger people going to address this? And so, yes, without going into that too much, to be able to see somebody who is in the form of Ren going into mental illness and investigating it and being with it, being with his two different selves, um, and giving them space to speak. Because very oftentimes he's, like,
Mm.
I don't want to hear from the other guy. There's Smeagol and Gollum, that metaphor. Um, but that's been around for a very long time. The like the angels and the devils on the other shoulder. So to be able to say, and this is one of the healthy things that I've heard just over the past several years of giving space to that other voice,
Mm-hmm.
because it was developed to take care of um, life at its most difficult a lot of times. It doesn't mean that we want to follow its direction, the mean, spiteful, but it has reasons why it's there. The other thing is there's a great poem by, I think the guy's name is Rucka, Roelke, and there's one line in that poem that says, "What is madness but nobility of soul at odds with circumstance?"
Hmm.
What is madness but nobility of soul at odds with circumstance? And so, things don't come out of a vacuum. There are reasons why people do what they do. And to have sympathy and empathy.
Yeah, yeah. For yourself, for that voice. Uh, yeah. Just ignoring that voice or trying to tamp it down. Uh, that doesn't always do what you're hoping it's going to do.
I can't believe you played that guy's stuff. When it came in, it reminded me, there was a poet. Where did I see this? It was an American young man who did a similar thing. He went up in front of a brick wall or a stone wall, and it was about racism. And it was like 2018 in the midst of 2019. And I forget where I saw it. It was on a news program, and it was really surprising. Spoken word
Hmm.
poetry and similar kind of thing. Speaking to the where grown-ups don't want to go, young adults and children will. Um, and so when I first saw this, I was like, wait a minute, where? Maybe I have to tell Brian I have seen this before, um, but I haven't. No, but there was something similar to that. The same, like standing up against a brick wall. And this had more nuance with the back room, with somebody coming out of the back room. Um, and I just love those lights flickering too. I'm doing a lot of talking. I don't know what the format is on this blog, Brian. If you wanted
This is it.
to talk
This is
too,
it.
but that's just too bad. I'm going to do all the talking.
No, no, no. This is good. This is what I want. Um, yeah, I'm curious how, because you know we're both uh, professional artists and storytellers and creative people, um, and yeah, what one thing that resonated with me too was just that imposter syndrome stuff. The that voice telling you you're not any good, or don't expect much of yourself. All of that. Um, I'm just curious if that at all struck you.
Yeah, I hate that conversation, but I deal with it every day. I mean, don't you? It's like
Mm-hmm.
it's either you suck, you should have, and people are going to find out, and they're really going to know, and so you should just quit, or you should just go. I don't look at TikTok, but any whatever the social networking thing is, that get a bag of potato chips and just go sit on the couch and stare at that. That's really what you're here for. Um, that's my version of that. And I know that there are, that's, but it eventually, for I think anybody who is really afflicted with this, I imagine it does go to the, well, you can't get rid of me unless you die too. So that's
Mm-hmm.
where having discussions with that voice, um, it's rarely fruitful. It's good to vent it and to share it, but to argue with it, I found it doesn't go into places where it's and he says that, right? The
Yep.
more quiet, grounded Bren is like, I need some space. I don't like talking to you, and it's been better, and I'm glad. There was one other thing I was going to say about it.
Well, it's like
He
there was a there. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
No, no, I was just going to fill
I
space.
was just gonna say, yeah, I liked the idea of there being a third voice. Like there's more than one voice going on.
You mean at the
Um,
end?
yeah, yeah,
Yes, that monologue, that was interesting.
yeah, yeah.
Um, and it is, it's a story of hope, you know, and Yeah, it's reminding me too of Elvis Costello's "What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding."
Mm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
uh, yeah, hope may seem like a trite thing at times in this environment that we've created. Um, it's not. There are people who are clinging to it on a moment by moment basis. And so to
Mm-hmm.
have him, but he also talked about see, this is why I started to think about, like, he's talking about the idea that it's not commercialized. This is not, created to sell to a certain crowd that is into have issues with psychosis. And he's I don't yeah I mean, it can be played that way, like, I could recommend this to a friend who has somebody that they're caring for or going through psychosis or something like that. But at the same time, this is just his speaking his truth. And
Mm-hmm.
he said that, I really don't care if somebody buys this, which is that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. It makes me think too a little bit of, and I think I've mentioned this to you before, but when I got to meet Maurice Sendak, and somebody asked him, why he did stories for kids, and he said he didn't. He said he did stories for himself, and what he wanted to say, and it just so happened that they appeal to kids, and that, I think, is part of what makes this stuff so powerful.
Yeah, and I'm without comparing me or you to Maurice Sendak, I think that there's an aspect of that that is I love making work for children and young adults. At the same time, I'm really making it for myself because I'm trying to figure things out.
Right.
And my audience, but even with that, when I make a book, I'm also making it for the grown up that's going to be reading it with the child. Um, the child in that grown up, you know, and so it did make me think too about the story I'm working on right now, which is that terrible word, a dystopian uh, story of the future of a boy who is he likes to draw, and in his culture that's called scribbling, and it's illegal. Um, and the his conflicts during the daytime with the law, the Kindness Council, and his conflicts at night with all of the dreams, since people can't draw and be creative anymore. All the dreams have no place to go, so they keep showing up at the few places where people still do draw and dream. So he's got like 10,000 of all of these other people's dreams all hanging out in his room, trying to help him get back to the other side because the bridges have all fallen down. So that's my story. And why did I bring it up? Because that's me talking to children and adults, and to the child in me and the adult. And the feelings that I have in being creative now can come out in this. That's what all, parables are about. So in a way, this is his parable, too, Ren's parable of both the conflict and the relationship between those two, and then the observation of the third voice. He's showing these all of these facets of himself. That's the best that we can do,
Mm-hmm.
and it's stellar. That thing ripples with energy.
Yeah. 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 The whole thing. His guitar playing was fantastic. His composition, the way it was shot, the way he sang, and yeah.
I mean, it is a composition too. I mean, it's that's the
Mm-hmm.
thing too. Is I was like, how much of this is a riff? Like, is he making this up as it goes along? And then I realized I don't think he is. This is like as formatted as a beautiful opera. It was an opera exchange, right?
Yep.
And like when he goes up into his falsetto too, there were a couple of times when he went into a note where I was like, well, he's off key there, but he did it again. the same off key notes. So I was like, wait a second, he's doing that on purpose. That's
Mm-hmm.
weird. And that's, in the same place as the flickering lights, it's offsetting. It makes me step outside of the, okay, this is not normal. And when I step out of the norm, then I'm open to transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Whenever I'm stuck in the norm, I'm stuck in the box and everything's fine and I don't have to change. But when things push, things a little bit to the squeeze me out of the box, all of a sudden I got to pay attention. What is going on here? So, and he really did encapsulate in the voices that he spoke. For me, those two voices was uncomfortable to hear that speedy voice of the,
Yeah.
you know, I know
Yeah.
that
And the
voice.
yeah, and the sarcasm and the cynicism in it.
Oh,
Whew.
just mean.
Yeah. 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 Definitely. Cool. Well, I'm glad you hadn't seen that.
Yeah,
Um,
me too.
yep.
Thank you for
Yep.
sharing it with me.
Yeah, you betcha. That was great. All right, we'll have to do another.
I would like to, especially, wow, I did not expect this, Brian. Did not expect that. Really beautiful. Thank you for sharing that with me.
Yeah, you bet.
See you down the road.